Hi guys, this is Tor from TC, coming at you live from the NAMM 2016 show, and I'm here with the incredible Jonny A, who's been treating us with incredible tones and some very nice Beatles songs. Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure, definitely my pleasure.
So we've been dialing in some TonePrints,
yes.
And you've been a long time TC endorsee using the G system.
Long time, and I'm kind of getting hip to this whole TonePrint thing. I have a bunch of these pedals, but I've never gotten involved with them like this, and it's fantastic.
You can do a little bit of wizardry and some trickery, and we've been doing that. And this is
and you're just the wizard to do it.
Well, I mean, we actually done a first thing here because we lined up 3 pedals and done TonePrints for all of them, and you'll kind of use them in conjunction with each other.
Correct.
But if we kind of just go over each one. Just in terms of what we've done, so we started out with doing a Flashback Delay TonePrint, then we did a reverb one, and then we ended up doing a HyperGravity Compressor one as well.
Correct.
So in terms of the reverb, what were you trying to achieve there in terms of the sound?
Well, just in general, the way I like to use effects is I like to feel them more than hear them. I love ambiances. If you've heard any of my records, I just really pain over ambiances, but it's more about really feeling them more than hearing them. So when I usually do a delay, I try to temper the delay or the EQ of the delay in a way that you never really hear the repeats, but you feel them. They move the guitar around in the stereo spectrum, but they don't really necessarily affect the source of what you're playing and convolute things. So that's what I try to do.
And so we dialed something in that's fairly subtle and a little darker sounding, and then we did an extra thing because you like sometimes to get a little modulation on the delay tails.
Correct. So we added a little bit of we tried to kind of emulate a like an LFO of a wobbly echoplex, but very subtle. But then we used one of the knobs to, when you crank it, it gives you more of a faster Leslie feel.
Yeah, and it's because you never use the delay time knob on your Flashback Delay because you always tap the tempo.
Correct, correct.
So we basically reassigned that knob to something else.
And these are all stereo settings, so I'm a guy that uses the quarter note dotted eighth setting all the time, even in my G system.
And so one in each amp, right?
Correct, correct, yeah.
So moving on to the Hall of Fame. Same kind of thing, looking for something subtle, or?
Well, I like to have the reverbs. I like to feel the ambience, a little bit of a nice spatial thing, but something that doesn't interfere with the attack of the note. So I think we dialed up the pre-delay to about 100.
Yeah,
right?
And actually removed all of the early reflections,
right,
to kind of get that,
and smooth out the diffusion and kind of cut some of the lows and added some sparkle on the top.
And then the tone control obviously, kind of decides how dark or how bright you want it to be. But then at the very top, you can actually dial in some...
Yeah, what we did was we had at 12 o'clock is kind of the preferred tone setting, what I was going for. And then if you go down to your left, counterclockwise, you can get the reverb a little darker. And then as you get up to 3 o'clock, it gets a little brighter. But then when you turn it all the way up, we're adding in a little bit of chorus, but back to the default tone setting.
Yeah. And then, last but not least, compression.
Yeah, I'm not a real fan of like super squash compression. Again, all of my effects, I like to feel them, not really hear them, what they're doing. So with the compression, I was looking for very vintagey, kind of just leveling things out a little bit, and so that's all we really went for there. Except we do have a setting that if you take the attack knob and you put it all the way counterclockwise, it will give you a little bit more of that squashed country thing.
But it's more of a studio type compression than it's of that classic pedal country.
Yeah, I'm looking more for like an LA3A type of leveling thing. Yeah.
So that's a lot of talking. Can we hear some playing as well?
Well, I gotta go. I don't really.
Oh damn!